Good afternoon, everybody. Hi, I'm Judy. I'm one of the expert E2 teachers here at E2 Language, OET teachers, I should say. And it's Sunday afternoon here in Perth. Perhaps for you it's the morning. Well, good morning to all of the morning people. Good afternoon to all of the rest of you, or good evening for those people in the eastern states of Australia or over New Zealand. Marisha, hi. Galaxy A17, hi to you. Segrushna, hi to you. We are live on YouTube. Guys, hi on YouTube. We have a chat line here at E2 Language. Unfortunately, I know there's a lot of chat going um, on YouTube, but unfortunately, I can't answer it. So if you've got time, if you'd like to sign in, join E2 Language, then you can become part of the class because we have a lot of things going on. We do lots of different things, and I can only control it on our one chat. So it's free to join E2 Language, and then you can also take part also in the live classes. However, welcome to everybody wherever you are, and let's get going with our class today. I hope everybody's fine. I'm not sure if anybody took the exam yesterday. We did have a couple of students in my speaking class and the doctors who were lucky enough to take their exam. Most of the people I've been teaching recently seem to be from about the 13th of June and onwards. So whoever it is, whenever yours is, let's keep the momentum up. Now, this is a writing class for nurses. Absolutely anybody is able to join. It's the same process, but we will have a nursing task today as we do. Now, for those people who are thinking of joined E2 Language but haven't chosen any package, we always have the power package, which is for 4 weeks. There's a 4-week study plan. You can come to all the live classes, as many as you like. There's a speaking and writing assessment, as well as our fantastic mini mock test with feedback. So there's a lot of advantages, but if you've already chosen a packet with E2 Language, unfortunately you can't do it. But that is one, and every week we've got challenges and there are prizes to be won. So interesting. Now, for other people who want more writing practice, we have our writing intensive, which is 2 writing feedbacks. You get your results back very quickly. Although I've had a glitch today on the internet on the system, and I've been correcting writing, but I haven't been able to send it back to the students. So my apologies, anybody who's waiting. They have been done, but the system won't let me put them back to you. Hopefully, it will be fixed. So we've got high quality exam like case notes written not only by English teachers, but with very, very close collaboration with all the medical professionals. And then you get a comprehensive score report with teacher feedback. Now, the best way, of course, to deal with anything like that is to have a tutorial. And there's the 3 different packages. And you get 1, 2, or 3 writing assessments. You've got your chance. It's a 45-minute session together with a tutor. We often discuss your writing assessments, which have been corrected. We deal with listening or reading, or we have more time to do speaking practice. So well worth it. It's that level up. And there's some great packages. All the packages with the tutorials have the mini mock test included. So that's a really great advantage and really good value at the moment. So think about it. If you just want to take the mini mock test that you feel as though your preparation level is fine, that's a super idea. You really can show you where you are, your strengths, your weaknesses, what you need to improve in. It's a face-to-face speaking test. You've got writing, then you've got listening and reading, and you've got the reports plus comments on everything you do. So well worth it. Bit of a variety there. You choose what suits you. So in our class, we're going to test our English as always. We're going to learn a method for completing the writing test. First, we need to analyze that task. We choose the relevant case notes for our reader and for the situation. We then plan our writing. We're going to discuss about planning it. We're going to write the start of the letter, which is standard, the address, the salutation, the date, etc. Today, we're going to write the introductory paragraph and the request. So that's the very first one, which is our purpose paragraph, and the request paragraph, which are the, I'd say most important, very important paragraphs in the whole scheme of the letter. Then we're going to look at the model letter, and we're going to check out the criteria and some other writing criteria and complete another quiz just to round the whole day up. So hope everybody's got a pen and paper, or as those people who are signed into E2 language, Kumar, Jelson, hi, Yardley, sorry about that, missed you before, and Yasser, hi Yasser. You can write on the chat line, but if you're at home and you are on YouTube, get a piece of paper out and have a go the traditional way. So let's have a quick look and a quick revision of some of the common tenses we use in our E2 language writing. Not that we don't use others, but these are sort of common. We use the simple present. And we want to make a statement about somebody. Mr. Lin urgently requires your expert assistance. It's a true fact. It's a statement. And that's when we use it. We also use it when we're talking about something that happens, let's say, regularly. We use that, like I go to work, 3 days a week. So that sort of thing. Present continuous, on the other hand, is what is happening now. So, or what's happening around this time. Miss Adams is currently receiving treatment for something. Okay, so what's happening as we speak, like we're having a tutorial, or what's happening around this time. Present perfect, I've done something that's happened. Miss Smith has been treated with cold compression therapy. So it's happened, but we don't say when. And it's also something that happened in the past that has an effect on the present. So there's that connection all the time. When we use the present perfect continuous, however, we use that when we want to emphasize how long something's been going on for, or since when, if that's the emphasis that we want to create. Or when we want to talk about something that has been happening, let's say repeatedly, we can use that. Where we've got the good old simple present, it's something that happened in the past, it's finished, and usually, most of the time, if it's not written, we know when it happened. Mr. Jones was admitted to St. Andrews 2 weeks after his operation. So it's happened, he was admitted, that's of course the passive voice. Oh, some morning people, Emilia, hello, Dolly, Cedar, and Innocentia. Hi, good morning to you guys over in nice warm Europe. All right, so let's have a look at our little quiz today. Everybody ready? I've got the chat box open, and pretty simple today, actually, which is good. And Marina, lovely to have you with us. 45 seconds only. Have a go. The options are there. All we need is to choose the right one. Okay, think about what we've talked about. Yes, Komal, hi. Day, yes. Hi, Komal, hi. It's always lovely to have you here with us, everybody really, Ahmad. Galaxy A51, good morning to you. And Jenna, Georgiana, wow, lovely. Thanks, Yardley. Beautiful. Couple more seconds, everybody. Not bad, not bad. I know more are going to come up. I'm going to put all in the chat, all panelists and attendees. So if you want to sort of, share information or help each other, we can do that. difference between simple past and present perfect. So yes, sir, the difference there is, as I said, with the simple past, it's something that's finished, that's happened. But the main thing for that, for me, the reason is that we know when we happened. I might say, I've been to Russia, all right? But I wouldn't, but then I would say, I went to Russia in 2010, all right? So immediately, although we've seen the same information, there's the difference because I mentioned when I did it, and that's when we need the simple past. Whereas I've been is telling me I went there, but doesn't tell me when, just that fact. All right, so that's sort of, there's probably other reasons, but it's probably the most obvious of all. So let's have a look. Miss Chan requires your assistance. During his stay in hospital, Mr. Gold was supervised while performing daily activities. Here we've got the passive voice, right? It was supervised, but it's the past tense because we know when, during his stay in hospital, okay? And he probably, well, in this case, he has left hospital. Mrs. Springer uses her own front door walker. We're making a statement. We're telling perhaps, you know, a carer or a physio this information. Miss Carmody has been assessed as medically stable. All right. So we don't know when that happened. We just know the fact that it's true, that it's happened, but it also has an effect on her life today. All right. So that's what we talked about before. She has been assessed. We use the passive voice because we don't say who did it. Okay. And Mr. Khan was admitted on the 14th of January. We know when. How did you all go? All right. Most of the results I saw, and there were a lot, yes. Why not has supervised? Mary Rose. It must be number 2. Yes. Well, it's passive voice. So has been supervised would be fine. And that would mean that Mr. Gold was still there. So during his hospital, he's being supervised. He's still there. It's still, that's why we call it the present perfect. So something happening from the past up to when we speak. Okay, but it's passive voice, so we need the been. Otherwise, you know, grammatical between the supervised and the supervised. Acrobat, I've just said that. Has, it needs to be, so if it was Mr. Gold, probably Nurse Gold has supervised somebody, right? So it would be active voice, but it's passive. So we need that being. Okay, hope you helped. You've understood a little bit there. Let's move on though. Come on, let's talk about the writing, the overview. What do we need to do? Well, hopefully we all know this by now. We need to read and analyze the task. We need to read and analyze the case notes. It's a letter of referral, discharge, or transfer, and that's it. So we have those 5 minutes of excruciating reading time. Yeah, take it and use it wisely, everybody. What do? We need to go to the task. We need to determine and think about carefully, who are we writing to? All right, not only their name, but what job they do. And that's going to play a huge role on the case notes we mention, and even the order of the priority of how we write things, but also important, what action we want them to take. Those 2 things we can find in the task and also just above it often in the management plan. So number 1, read the case notes. We need to understand the key facts about the condition. Now, they're all well organized with headings and subheadings. So use that as a guide because that makes it much more organized for you. We need to identify the relevant information and also decide if it's highly relevant, quite relevant, because that's going to help us prioritize things. And then, you know, in the paragraphs in our final writing. When we write, minimum 5 paragraphs, I would say. Sometimes we can even have 6. I wouldn't go for fewer than 5, personally. I don't think, because then you get too big paragraphs, you know, rather than a bit smaller ones with the things separated nicely, because each paragraph has to have one main idea. You don't want to bulk too many things together. And that should take, say, 30 minutes. And then you need those 5 minutes at the end to review your writing. I always do. Think about your weak points, whether it's grammar, is it your spelling, is it things like forgetting prepositions, commas, all sorts of things. But reread it and reread it as the person you're writing to, not you, the person who wrote it. You've got to think, okay, I know I wrote it, but now I'm that other person and I'm reading it. Do I understand what I've written? Okay, very different. What's in your head, you understand, of course. We're all like that, whatever language you're writing in. But we've got to think about the other person we're writing to, always. So, a little bit more detail. Who are we writing to? What action do we want them to take? What key information they need to be able to do that? All right, we're talking about key information. We don't need the whole story of the person. It's a referral letter, don't forget. And it is something that we need key information. That's what's important. And think about, does our reader have any prior knowledge of the patient? So we wouldn't need to repeat that. We have the keynotes, we have to read the case notes. We've got to think about how, if they're relevant, are they repeated? Are they mentioned more than once in our notes? And that means we need to sort of collect them together in our final letter. And are they not relevant to our reader? You know, you wrote them, they would have been relevant to you as a nurse, perhaps even other members of staff in the clinic, in the hospital. We've got to think, are they relevant to the person we're writing to? That's the big number one task. So now, it is one of our first writing tasks that people with packages do. But don't panic, everybody, and think, oh, I've seen that before. Use it as a really good way to think, yes, I'm going to learn something, I'm going to talk about it, I'm going to, really improve my writing. Other aspects, you might have chosen it, you might have chosen the case notes, but there's lots of other things that you can improve time and time again. Okay, so who am I writing to? Who is this person we're writing to? This Miss Pascal. What job does she do? What action do I want her to take? What does she need to know about our patient to be able to do it? And what does she already know, if anything, about the patient? So I'll just pop open the chat now. I'll give you a minute to have a good go with that one. Okay. So yes, we'll talk about the repeated case notes now in a sec. Oopsie, didn't get that done. Yes, we'll talk about the repeated case notes because we need to combine them if they are repeated. Usually, they can be, put into one sentence. Perhaps it's talking about a situation that has got worse over time. Or it could be a situation that a patient had before that has reappeared. So we'll see. Each time it's different. Thanks, Ahmed. All right. So who is this lady? Thank you, Yardley. Yes. So it's about Mr. Chen's rehab. Good. There's not an awful lot of information on that, but good, Elizabeth. Thank you. Sri Lima. Yes. Okay, physiotherapist. Georgiana, definitely. All right. Helping rehabilitation, lovely. Emilia, Good. Now it's all coming through. Vivo 1660, lovely. So, but the key, I think, for that one is the fact that we're writing to the physiotherapist. Yes, you know, we want them to start a rehab program to help him with his rehabilitation. So, for sure, he's got some issues that we need for her to work on. We need to tell her about his issues. Of course, it's going to be definitely things like probably mobility and all that stuff. But you never know. All right. And because it's a referral letter, it's seldom in a referral letter they have any knowledge. So you have to say it and irrelevant. Okay, good. Let's move on. Now, we've got the case notes. Which ones are relevant? Which ones are repeated? And from all that, which ones are not relevant to our reader? And why we always focus on this, because it's going to make a huge difference to your score, to the whole letter. You know, the first criteria we talk about is the content. Okay, it's got to be appropriate to the reader. Okay, and addresses what is needed to continue the care. However, the key information must be included, and it's a mistake if you miss out on any important details. On the next set of criteria is the other side of the package, the conciseness. And this is talking about, let's say, in the long run, the length. But what we want to focus on, because they don't really count the number of words in OET, but they don't want it to be full of irrelevant information. Okay, so although we don't focus on the number of words, we must include the relevant information. We mustn't miss out any key details, and also we mustn't include information that is irrelevant to our reader. Again, always to the reader. So here are our case notes for our lovely Mr. Chen. And I'm going to give you 5 minutes to, I'm going to open the chat line. Anybody who would like to put in their ideas, which ones are relevant, which ones are repeated, maybe mentioned more than once, and which ones, well, we're going to forget the ones that are not relevant. So which ones are relevant to our reader and which ones, we see more than once. If anybody's on YouTube, you can do the same thing, definitely, and also pop it into the live chat. And then you can, share it with other students. It's a really good idea. Zachariah, lovely to have you with us today. Okay, definitely shingles and glandular fever. No, we don't want to know. That's got nothing to do, not interesting to the physiotherapist, of course. It's important to know what these people do. I mean, sure, I think most people have a good idea about the role of a physiotherapist. Thanks, Amelia. Beautiful. Yes, Strelima. Interesting. Rosca. Fantastic. What do you call it? Offering there. Thank you very much. Rosca, do you think the physiotherapist needs to know about that chap's thyroid? Kormal, definitely. She doesn't need to know about his anemia. Zacharias, definitely. Good. Yeah, think very, very deeply about what that person needs. I mean, if you've got one or two things up and down, not one, let's say, you know, I think there is a few that might. Anemia is not relevant, Vivo, to, I mean, he's going to be coming out, he's medically stable. When did he have the anemia? Okay. But, you know, like the thyroid, it's not really. Medication, which it depends, Roscoe, it depends on which medication you're talking about. We're talking to the physio, don't forget, we're not talking writing to Mr. Chen's GP, just to the physio. Christian, very, very good. Nice in a package there. Well done. Exactly, Cormal. Very good. Yes. All about the mobility. Okay. Aruna, a little bit generic there. Nursing management. How much nursing management does that patient need? Does the physio need to know? Well, probably in that case, quite a lot of it. Good. Good one, Yardley. Emilia, definitely we need to know his, you know, the medical background, the admission, diagnosis, and all that sort of stuff. Definitely. Ahmed, yes. A few things a bit funny there. You'll pick. Priscilla, lovely. Good one. Rosca, yes. Rosca, good. Perfect. Lay, yeah, Lai, lovely one. Yep. Ahmed, lots and lots of people taking part to it. Well done. It's a nice way to spend your Sunday morning, afternoon. Okay. Kumar, yay, of course. Yes. May, definitely May, all those ones. Lovely. Now, I think most people are on the points. Couple that need to be taught, you know. So this one has a few things which are mentioned. Okay, again, we've got, of course, his name, we've got his age, and we've got the medical background. The ones that are, okay, those two, as we very well said, are not important. Very important when the operation, the original operation started. And then we've got here the admission date and the discharge date, very important. It's going to be today's date, I think, or could be the day after. We don't, it's going to be the date of the exam, because he might have been discharged. It's not necessarily on that day that you're actually going to write to the physio. But anyway, very close to that. And you'll always write the exam date, and the dates in the case notes will all match up with that. So we've got the admission diagnosis for sure. We don't care about his anemia. I mean, that was before. He might still have a little bit, but it's nothing to do with our physio, really, unless it's so bad that he's going to collapse. But we're saying he's going out of hospital and he is medically stable. So other things, that problems, again, all about the knee, that it's swollen, okay, and what you did, and that the incision site was well healed, clean and dry. All right, so all this about the average, okay, it's was prescribed during hospitalization, and it was even discontinued. So it's got nothing to do with us. All right. The management, the supervision, supervision that he needed, you know, all that sort of stuff. The how far he can walk, it's very important for the physio, and then he uses the walker, that he's got a limited range of motion. And the other things like the grooming, bathing, the lower body dressing, and the only thing that was really important, that he is on prescription painkillers, all right? He is medically stable. And our discharge plan here, the patient was discharged home with family assistance, so all those sorts of things are taken into consideration. We don't care about his diet, that he needs acute comprehensive rehab, and that he has the front wheel walker. So you can see those things that have been talked about more often than once. And that's why they're in blue. So don't forget, each letter, and I've said this all the time, each letter is very, very different. And the way you write one, whether it's successful or not, doesn't have to be the way you write another one every time it changes. So we've got that intro and the request, which is a really good way, you know, of focusing today, because how we start plays an important role. We're going to work on how we address this. Now, again, this is another thing. It gives a good impression. And as I often say, you can only make a first impression once. So make sure it's good. And it's not difficult to get the address right and all that first bit. So we've got the title and the full name of the recipient, if we have it. Then we've got the job title. And then we've got the address of the clinic and the street, etc. Don't forget, there is no punctuation there at all. We have the date. You can put the date at the top if you want. We have the and we've got patient's title, their full name. So we've got both the full name and either their age or the date of birth, depends what you're given. If you're given a date of birth, you are not supposed to work out their age. Okay, so we've got the dear, which is for our person, and we just use the title and the family name. We don't repeat the first name. And then at the end, remember, we have the yours sincerely. So easy to remember that one. And I'm going to give you a few seconds here. Well, it's 90 seconds. We've got our patient there, our reception, Mr. George Chen, and he's 54 years old. So chat box is open again for anybody who would like to pop it in. You know, it's written there, but I want you to write it down in a line and have that no, what do you call it? No commas in it. So, Komal, should we put the before designation? Now, I don't know what you mean by designation, Komal, actually. You mean the name of the, of the clinic? No, you don't need to put the name out. Sometimes you do, okay, but the name of the clinic is just as it is. Oh, the physio, no, just put physiotherapist, because there might be more than one. And if you put a the, it gives the idea that it's the only one. There might be more than one at that medical clinic. You never know. All right, so, but remember, capital P, Ahmed, Zakaria. All right, good. It should be down in one line, Yardley and Zakaria. But I can understand, and you haven't put the thing. Just so I know, remember the physiotherapist comes one line, the Templestowe district. I forgot to do the time. Silly me. Oh well, another 10 seconds, everybody. Thanks, Ahmed. Jenna looks good. Rosca looks perfect. Well done. Or we don't put the 17th, Rosca. We don't put the before the date. So, or we don't even need th and of. All right, so 17 May 2020. Interesting. Yeah, we don't need to put that. You might use that if someone is reading part of a, of a document, or even in a book, when actually each word is read. But in the date, we don't need to do that at all. It just needs to be there. Yes, with numbers, cider, lovely. Wing, beautiful. And all righty. So sorry about the timer there, everyone. I was too busy chatting. But let's have a look. Here we've got it. Miss Loretta Pascal, physiotherapist, Templestowe District Medical Centre, 43, Templestowe. All right. I'm often talking about my family. Would you believe my brother lives in, well, it's Lower Templestowe, but it's up there. Got a family, part of a family that does all these things. Well, not really, but sometimes I do mention them. Just once again. So we've got the date, as you see, it's in numbers, and then we've got which was actually the date of what do you call it, of discharge. But I don't care. You won't need to. You need to write the date of today. Remember, it's a small e. It's actually a word. R-E. Mr. George Chen. There we get our first comma. 54 years old. Dear Miss Pascal, another comma. Yours sincerely, and who you were. We didn't go back to that. See, we didn't look about who we were. We will. Now we're going to find out who we are. We were actually a ward nurse. It's important to notice that. I forgot to say that to you, unfortunately. Sorry about that. But it is something, because that you do need to know who you are and use that as a, I mean, you could always just put nurse. It wouldn't be a big issue. So what we've got to do then, we've got to think about how many paragraphs and what's going to go into each one. That's our plan. And we've done the reading. Now we can pick up our pencil or our pen and start making that plan. The intro and the request, even you can, well, we know that. What is the key information that the recipient needs? Keep it very brief. We need to catch that idea so the recipient gets that idea straight away. And our request, we've got to express our appreciation and request, yeah, and restate what we want the recipient to do. So we are repeating in a way, usually often, using different words, being more specific than the introduction, but in the way we are repeating, we're saying it again. Other letters, we put something very brief in the intro, and there's quite a few details. Today, we've only got really the one request, so it all depends each time. Now, I'm going to actually start the timer today, this one. And yes, Rosca, you can write aged 54. Christian, you can put your name, but you must put your job title. All right. So name, you can, you don't have to, but your job title is important. You could put charge nurse, yes, in the medical ward, but you could definitely be charge nurse wing. Ward nurse, charge nurse, yeah, definitely that would work. Okay. I mean, just be careful, things like community nurse, that you haven't put ward nurse when you actually don't even work in a hospital. Those sorts of things have to be, you've got to be careful of. All right. Now, how's it all going? I'm glad lots of people are sharing things on YouTube. Sorry, I can't, let's say, comment on them. It would be a physical impossible. I'd need to have a secretary here chatting along with me. But the idea is to join E2 language also, and then you can, be part of the E2 family. But it's nice to have you with us anyway. And Komal, need your explanation. Okay, good. Not a lot of feedback there, guys. Anyway, let's have a look. And we've got, these are my planning notes, or let's say planning notes we've got. We've got his name, of course. We need to know basically what's wrong with him. So he's post-right knee surgery and he has impaired mobility. Look at, we're focusing on, we're writing to the physio. So it's all about the mobility. But we need to talk about where he's got mobility problem. You know, somebody might have fallen and hurt their wrist or fingers or elbow or something. So we need to mention that. He had the total knee replacement when, and the fact that he's got severe difficulty with mobility. Now, some of those perhaps don't need to go into the intro. We've got it there, so we are talking about it. It's not necessary. That can also go into our first paragraph. So, you know, what happens now is not the only way to do it. Okay, we've always got to think like that. So, and the request, well, short and sweet, needs acute comprehensive rehabilitation. Alrighty, and that doesn't mean urgent. A lot of people think it's urgent. No, it's just acute. So it's sort of strong. There's a lot of it, and comprehensive. Well, you know, very thorough. So let's write our intro. Now, lots of ways. This is really good. There's no right way of putting it. You can start with the sort of standard. We'll see. Miss Jones was recently hospitalized. Mr. Smith will be discharged. Mr. Smith requires, okay. On the 5th, Miss Smith presented to, well, that's not really in the introduction, that's in our main paragraph. So ignore a few of those, they're not really that useful, actually. So, a couple of minutes, everybody, to have a good go at writing your intro. I've got some people already started. Let's have a look. So, keeper, when you've got your, in that first paragraph, you don't need the comma, all righty, because it's, you're not adding information, it is information. We use that when we have a much longer sentence and we've just added some information, so that non-defining relative clause. So I'm writing to refer Mr. Chen, who underwent TRK. He's being discharged. However, not really. Yeah, however, really saying something sort of, I think of the clock on again, dear me, Judy. You know, it's sort of going a bit, doesn't really belong in the intro. All right, he's being discharged today and requires, keep it simple. Okay, the howevers can go in further down in the letter. All right, keep it simple, don't load it up with weird and wonderful things. Yeah, I'm writing this letter in reference to Mr. Chen. Kumar, who was admitted. Okay. I wouldn't put his walk, I just put his mobility, really. Okay. Not his walk, doesn't really sound right. Work on standard words, everybody. His mobility much better. Zachariah. So he was genuinely good. Okay. Professional assistance on something. 4. Okay. He needs your assistance for, not on. Okay. That might work on something else, but not here. Okay. Advice, see, Roscoe, we're not asking for advice. Okay. So, and it's not further, because we haven't given him any advice, really. So, further advice, Roscoe, that's what I'm saying to you. It might work on another letter, but it doesn't work here. But be careful. Choose your words carefully. So, Emilia, I write. No, I write. I'm writing. I write. You use that in only very, very formal old letters for the law or something like that. So, not I write. No. And we talk about simple present, something we do Continually? Absolutely not. I'm writing. It's what you're doing. Okay, carry on, Amelia. We haven't really got why you're writing, what you want to. Oh, and respectfully. No. Come on, Sheila. No, we're not respectfully doing anything. We're just referring her. So again, don't go overboard, anybody. It's a business letter. All righty. We want it short, simple, sweet, to the point. Okay. Assessment and management. Okay. A bit over the top, but yeah, keep it simple. Less is better. Not bad, Wing. Not bad. I don't really need to put the family assistance in the intro. You understand? Don't bulk it up. Don't bulk it up with stuff that's not necessary in the intro. There's plenty of the letter to put the family assistance in. You know, you've got to be very specific what we put. And it takes practice to minimalize it. Think minimalistic. All right. Lovely, May. Really nice. Sorry a second, everybody. I'm just reading them quickly. What? Priscilla, you've actually mentioned it twice with post. Also, no, don't put also. No. Yeah, that also he had it. No, it's not also. It is that. So it's not an also. So be careful with things like also. All right. Lovely Rose, Mary Rose. Okay. Lovely. Okay. Lay, beautiful. This isn't to inform you. No, no, we're not informing anybody anything. We're writing to refer, Reynold. All right, we're not informing them about something. Yeah. So we're right, it's a referral. We've got to mention that. So stay with things I'm writing to refer because it's not an information letter. Okay, within the referral, you're informing her, giving her information about the patient, but it's not to inform her about anything. All righty. So Elizabeth, very nice, but no A in surgery. You see, that's rather long. A bit too long, my darling. All right, Jenny. I'm going to spend the whole letter looking at these. Yep. Cormal, with ongoing mobility. Okay, not bad. A bit probably, but yeah, good one. Nice, very minimalistic. Nice one. So Ahmed, everybody's surgery and many, many words in medical English are uncountable. No article. All right. Good, everybody. That's it. I need to move on. What have we got? Mr. Chen requires your professional assistance for his ongoing difficulties with mobility. I probably would have used issues, mobility issues following recent, and I probably would have put the name. Yeah, TKR. I would have put, again, I'm writing to refer Mr. Chen, who requires. It's a little bit more complete. Anyway, you know, as I said, there's all sorts of things that are accepted, and that's really, really important to be aware of. I mean, I might have my ideas, but there are plenty. But you see how short and sweet, minimalistic it is. Now let's have a look at the request, which is very. We could start with, I would be grateful, kindly, please. But I think in this case, just to sort of, you know, make it a full sentence, it would be good to say something like, I would be grateful, or I would appreciate if you could do something. Yeah. So needs acute comprehensive rehab. Well, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to do that one. I will keep on reading if anything else is there in the chat line. Have a go with that, everybody. Yep. It's not working. I have. Oh, Ahmed, we've got to use his name, not George. Mr. Chen. With impaired mobility, right knee post, right Knee post-surgery status. That sounds notey, you know. It might be a column, status. Doesn't really work in the written word, right? So things are a little bit different. So you need, Ahmed, you need to sort of turn that around a little bit. Okay. Well, that's a lovely one, Yardley. Yep, yep, good. For sure. Nice one, Zacharis. It's highly appreciated. Oh, okay. Bit over the top, but okay. So, Renal, yes. This is to refer Mr. Chen, a post-knee surgery patient with difficulty in ambulation. He will be discharged and requires rehab management. Okay. Oh, Mayor, I would be grateful. You can't have it with the passive. It would be grateful. No, it would be appreciated, yes, but I would be grateful. All right, we can only have one. They're all coming in. Help, 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 help. Good. Throughout, no, not through. No, he's not going, Christian, he's going home, darling. So he's not going to be in that person's facility. I would be grateful if you could provide rehab uncountable, acute and comprehensive rehabilitation. Okay, for Mr. Chen. Okay, I would appreciate if you could provide Mr. Chen with good, nice one, Ahmed. I would be grateful if you could follow up his. No, you're not following it up. No, you're actually providing it. You're not following up because if you had done it and then passed it over, then he would be following up what you did, but you haven't done it. Okay, so it's definitely having to provide the so that's Yeltsin. Okay, be careful with follow up. Follow up is one thing, provide is another one. Said yet, nice one. Good. Okay, the roster, if you have any queries, new line. It's not part of that paragraph. Okay, good. Got a couple, Amelia, a couple of too many helps. I'd be grateful if you, for you, no, I would be grateful. Yeah, a bit too many helps there. Just have a think about it. I would, it would be great if you could provide lovely, good, pretty standard actually. Yeah, we're not going for something super, imaginative and, over the top. We want something, yeah, Ahmed. I probably would have put his name, Ahmed, in yours, just him. Okay, lovely. Everybody else, even Galaxy S7, not bad. Let's have a look at our last one. Kindly provide acute and comprehensive rehabilitation of Mr. Chen's right knee. Okay, seems a bit weird to me, but anyway, let's have a look at the whole thing. Mr. Chen requires your professional assistance for his ongoing difficulties or his ongoing issues with mobility following recent surgery. Okay, Mr. Chen was admitted, here we've got the story now. What happened to him? He was admitted to St. Andrew's Hospital 2 days ago with swelling and fluid buildup in his right knee, the result of a total knee replacement, which he underwent on the 27th of December. We need that, okay, due to osteoarthritis. So we pop that in there too. The resulting pain and swelling have severely limited his mobility. Consequently, his self-care activities have been significantly compromised. Lots of ways of writing that, lots and lots. Now, hospital, what happened? During his time in care, the swelling was successfully treated by use of ice packs, or we could have used with, and painkillers. The only thing we need to talk about. And it was noted the incision site had healed well, because when he came in, it was healed. His mobility was supervised, and he was given the use of a free front wheel walker to assist in this. Okay. Yeah, I think probably better ways to put it, but anyway, he still experiences a limited range of motion, managing less than 100 meters when mobilizing with his front wheel walker. Okay. Mr. Chen is now medically stable and ready for discharge with the assistance of his family, you see put it there, who will supervise his self-care activities, including bathing, grooming, and lower body dressing. In fact, we didn't talk about oh, well, his mobility was supervised, but all the other things, well, it's not really important for her. It's all about the mobility. Kindly provide acute and comprehensive rehabilitation of Mr. Chen's right knee. Okay, well, you put it, it's all up to you. But we've got it there. Take a photo, everybody. Don't forget, in a day or so, you can watch all this again on the recorded section of your student page. All the videos are recorded, but I think it takes about 24 hours to have it put into the system. So you can go back and you can look at all those things. Now, we're going to quick look at language in our writing and a bit about tenses, which is interesting because we had a few issues starting. So we write, and we had that thing, I'm writing to refer Miss Aitken, who needs assistance with. Okay, it's what you're doing now. Remember we said that? Not what we do, and not that super formal I write. It's gone out. Okay. You could, and again, unfortunately, this is actually wrong. Could you kindly assist? We don't have that question in a letter anymore. So we're probably better to put, please kindly assist Miss Aitken with a rehabilitation plan focusing on diet. It's a different situation. Okay, again, could you do something as a question? But please don't use that in your writing. Passive voice, Mr. Jones was admitted. Okay, he came in and the nurses did the admission. Okay, and she recently presented. That's the active. It's giving the idea that she came into the hospital. So admitted is always passive. Presented is always in the active. We've got some linking words there. There's some great things about linking words also on our website, but on the OET website, on the preparation portal. There's, if you want to find out about what they think about linking, as we said, and as I picked up, don't load it up with linking words. Sometimes you need them. Don't go overboard. So use them, you know, frugally, which is just not very much at all. It's nice to make a longer sentence, but we want something that's readable, that's easy to read, that's very user-friendly. We don't want to, you know, keep going and long sentences that you've got to think about for half an hour. Well, what on earth was she actually saying? That sort of stuff. So we've got, you can take a photo of some of those. I'm not going to go over them, you know, as well as dodgy one. Be careful if you're making using that as for addition. It's got to be used very, very carefully. So unless you're really comfortable about using as well as, which is difficult because whatever we put before has to be exactly the same as the same type of word or expression as afterwards. So it doesn't always work out, and I can see that incorrectly. So yeah, good. Let's have a look, and you can have a go. We've got a variety of things here. The first one, we've got the type of tenses. The second one, I want you to put in passive voice. And the third one, choose a couple of linking words there. Okay, everybody, let's have a go. Is provide and assist a way different in asking during a request? Well, yes, provide it. If you provide a service, may, and assist in doing something or assist someone in, yeah, as long as that's sort of what we're trying to express. So I don't think, oh, you know, I can use that. Provide's quite useful when we're asking for some sort of thing, but it depends. Assistance, you know, it doesn't always fit. Couple of mistakes there. Zaida, Nazpreet, not really. Yes, that's better. Amelia, good. All right. We just needed the on, Saida, for your on the date. Well done. You know, I mean, I can answer questions. I can help you up to a point in a live class. I do my best, hopefully. But don't forget, you know, in a tutorial, I'm there for you, and we can discuss all those issues. Now, don't forget, everybody, last Tuesday, Rebecca on the OET Facebook page had a very interesting Q&A. She talked about writing, a lot about writing, also reading, okay, all the things, but was quite a lot of interesting things. So anybody who has Facebook, go to the OET official page and you can see our Rebecca, well, not our Rebecca, OET's Rebecca, and her Q&A, very, very useful. And it's always sort of the Tuesday before an exam. And you can join her and ask her a myriad of questions. So always listen to it. Okay, so that's another piece of help. Thanks, everybody. Everybody did very, very well too. But number one is B, was recently hospitalized. Okay, because, you know, hospitalized means to be admitted into hospital. Okay, so it happened recently. We know when, you see. The other one, Miss Ford, was admitted to hospital on the 3rd of February this year. And we've got here, okay, Miss Atlas was admitted to Kingsmith Hospital the 20th of January for, so that's talking about the purpose, a total knee replacement. Why? Due to, okay, giving the reasons, worsening osteoarthritis. Okay, so that is that. Now, a couple of places there that you can find information. As I said, we've got an absolutely perfect YouTube live and YouTube channel with lots and lots of things on it. OET have recently published on their YouTube channel a beautiful analysis of writing. So if you haven't seen it, go to their YouTube channel, see the writing for nurses. Rebecca again is going through it. It's very, very useful, especially about what, you know, how to choose the relevant notes and all that sort of stuff. So there are lots and lots of places where you can get information. Podcasts, if you want to practice your listening and your reading, the ABC health issues, watching television shows, you know, that's more for listening and things like that. Don't forget, anybody who might be, you know, thinking about signing up for something. As I said, you can all sign up to E2 Language and be on the free package, and you can watch, you know, the free classes, live classes. There's one every day. However, if you haven't booked anything, think about the power package, especially if it works out the time for you. It's a really, really good value. Which we haven't got any vouchers this week. Look, there's the mini mock test. As I said, a great way you can experience exam-like tasks. You can take one-to-one mock test, speaking test, and you receive a report with your grades and comments that help you improve your score. So it's a really, really useful way to get going. So that's it for today. Now, it's not going to be available on YouTube next week, but Wednesday, for anybody, I'm on the same sort of time, a bit earlier than today, speaking for everybody at OET, and I would love you to join me. We always have a ball. We always learn new things, hopefully. Oh, Kwama, just seen a few notes there. No, we don't care about these. They're absolutely off. Kima, none of those is wanted. A complete, all irrelevant, darling. Okay. So I'm going to bid you farewell because my cat is scratching at the door and would like to be fed. She knows. She doesn't know. Perhaps she's watching on somewhere and says, "Oh, Mum's finishing off. My time now to be fed." Guys, have a lovely rest of your Sunday. I know most people are a little bit freer now. I know in the north of in Europe, the weather is pretty decent. So get out, get some fresh air before you come back and do some more OET practice. Joylene, yeah. Mine's called Matilda. She's so cute. She's not cute really, but anyway, we love her. The way she is, as you have to when you adopt a cat. You don't quite know what they're going to be like. But for the rest of you who, like me, the evening is drawing in, have a nice evening, have a nice night, and see you all on Wednesday. If not, don't forget, think about tutorials, think about your mini mock tests. We're all there to do your speaking practice whenever you feel ready to go. Okay, bye.